Hey y'all, this is Church from Church's Intake. So let's get into another situation. We're gonna call this Left Behind. You ever heard of that movie? It was like probably back in the day in like the late '90s, maybe early 2000s. It was a movie called Left Behind. It had like Left Behind 1 and 2. They had like a sequel of it. And also, a lot of people in the Bible, well, that read the Bible, people talk about, when at the end of the book of Revelations, how people are going to be caught up with God and the other people are going to be left behind. Well, the way that they perceive it is not the actual way that it will entail at the end. As much people think, like, once saved, always saved, and so on and so forth. People believe, once they have the Holy Spirit speaking in tongues and things of that nature, they believe they're going to be caught up with God. But a lot of people think, pre-trib and, after the trib, that, we don't go through the tribulation period. And we do go through tribulations. Everyone has to. God didn't make it so that you are granted, how do I say it? No trials and tribulations, because the tribulation period, there will be, trials, and you have to withgo these trials and, stand firm and know that God is who he is and that he will protect you through the trials and tribulation. Now, with that being said, there will be a great tribulation after the, whatever you want to call it, pre-trib or whatever, or the rapture. But the great tribulation is where, God pours out his fury on the people that will be here, to the wicked ones that will be here left, because they don't bring God into their salvation. They don't want to accept, the change on different things and how to go about certain things. So there's a discrepancy, and, people are going to talk to me and say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, but I do. And there will be a great tribulation, but everyone will go through tribulation. And we're in that phase right now. So if you guys want to talk about pre-trib, this is it right now. You're in pre-tribulation right now, because these demons are on the earth right now. These entities that was talked about in the Bible years ago, back then, they still roam this earth. They never left the earth. They're not here to leave the earth. They will be here until the end, and people don't want to grasp that. People don't want to perceive what is really going on. There's great wickedness going on in this earth right now. There's a lot of witches, warlocks, there's different beings here. There's a lot. And you have to overcome a lot of these things, and God will show you. That's why it also says, I will show you a new thing, and I will make your life great amongst the trials and tribulations that you have to go through. But I need you to, can you not perceive it? I need you to perceive what I'm bringing you through, that you will see what you need to understand to make it to the level of where I need to take you to make you great. And there's certain things, and so there's people that you have to get rid of in your life that you thought you would never have to get rid of. And that's the whole thing of me talking about the left behind aspect of it, because actually you are leaving these people where they are, which would be left behind, because you're trying to go to the next level of greatness with God. You're trying to, achieve things that he's showing you and exposing you to, so you could be equipped on what's to come. He's training you up in the unknown, so that you'll be ready for these things that shall come, that you're not flustered or you're not scared, that you're more than equipped to handle what is transpiring on this earth. And a lot of people think, like I said, there's a laziness aspect to a person that believes once saved, always saved. Like they don't have to put in that work, to achieve greatness. I remember certain people, older people when I was younger, like, oh, I'm saved, like, I'm good, I'm gonna just do the norm, like just working a basic 9 to 5, and God's just gonna, whatever's gotta go on, just whatever. And God's not he's not with that. He's not with the laziness. God's with the person that wants to achieve. Like he wants you to achieve your purpose. He wants you to be as great as you can be, leaving a stamp on this earth for, others, so that they can make their stamp on this earth. He don't want you to. It's like retirement. You know what I mean? He don't want you to have that lackluster retirement mindset of things, of thinking. And a lot of people don't understand, like, when you do have a mindset of retiring and want to slow down and not do stuff and not keep on achieving greatness in your life, once you slow down, you end up, slowing down your body and slowing down the process. And that's why some people actually leave the earth before their time. Not saying all people are like this, but some people leave the earth before their time because they went into retirement. And then they're just out of here. You ever just seen someone that you used to work with at your job, 9 to 5 or whatever, and you'll be like, dang, that person put in like 50 years, and he knew he was retiring or whatever. And then after that person retired or whatever, it's just like a couple months, couple years later, oh, they passed away. And I'm knowing that they're passing away is because they're telling God, we're done. I did what I needed to do, and it's over. And God's just allowing it to happen. And it's not always just God allowing it to happen. The devil can take over these people and just, oh, I can't handle it no more. Like, I can't do this no more. Take me out of here. That's the mindset of some of these people. So sometimes you have to leave people behind in their place, because you're not going to super exceed expectations in your life, greatness in your life, because you're still with the same friend group, you're still around the same family members that's got a lackluster mindset, that's poverty set in their mindset, and then that's weighing in on you. You know what I mean? That's causing conflict within your mind and how you want to perceive things. It's like, oh, why are you doing so much? Why you keep on trying to do this and do that? And why you keep on trying to go up in life? Like, when you going to stop? And it's like, I ain't going to stop until God tells me to stop. Until he says, well done, my good and faithful servant. You have done great in many things, and then now I'm going to take you, because your time here is done by God's standard, not by man's standard. Like, you got to keep on going. If God wants you to keep on growing and doing more things, hey, you might be 60, 70, 80. God wants you to help out these young folk. Who's going to help out the youngins? How you going to help out the youngins if you ain't been through things? No one's going to listen to you if you ain't went through trials and tribulations on your own and overcame things to show them that, I made it. This is how you're going to make it. I'm going to help you. Now, obviously, it's not going to be the same platform. It's not going to be the same blueprint, but I'm going to teach you what I can teach you. And now you're going to take what I teach you to help yourself, to grow your own wealth, to be your own boss or your own person, and to achieve goals that you thought that you couldn't achieve. And people got to understand, we are in that left behind era. You got to leave people behind, because if you don't leave them behind, they're going to take you down with them. You know what I'm saying? And you're not gonna like that. You're gonna be like, oh God, why can't I do this? And why can't I do that? And why is this person got this? And why is this person got that? It's because they working for it. Not everyone, but majority of them, you know what I mean? You don't know what a person had to do to get to where they got to get to. And yes, there's a lot of demonic things that, oh, you need to do it this way for it to achieve. For you to achieve, you need to have this type of gatekeeper for you to be in these type of rooms. And God's like, nah, you don't need none of those things. I want you to do it the right way. The right way is the hardest way, but you can do it through him. Once you work with God, God's going to show you, he's going to open doors for you that you never thought that you would be able to get in. And he's going to use these people, different folk, not just the poor people that you think that's going to help you, is going to help you. He's going to use people that you never thought in your life, people that you probably never seen in your life, but they see in you somehow, some way, because of God. And he's going to use them, and they're going to influence, you know what I mean? He's going to influence them to help you get into doors that you needed to be in so he can get the glory from you, not from some gatekeeper. Oh, you need to come do this, and you need to pay these tithes and offerings to me, and da-da-da-da-da, and you need to do this ritual and all that. No, you don't need to do none of those things. You need to work with God. You need to learn how to hear him. You need to learn how to work with God letting you be free. God's not always going to talk to you when you're going through certain trials. You get it? These are your trials and tribulations. God's going to watch you. Now, if you start straying away, doing what he don't want you to do, he's going to correct you. And you're going to have to learn how to hear that ear. Oh, snap, maybe I'm in the wrong spot. Oh, let me get up out of here. Let me change a couple different things. God, help me out. And he's going to use other vessels. He's going to even probably talk to you. He might talk to you through dreams. He might talk to you through other influencers. He might talk to you whichever way. It might be the radio. He could talk to you in so many different ways. But you have to learn how God moves. If you don't know how he moves, he needs to train you how to learn how he moves. He's a spirit being. So you have to learn spiritual discernment, comprehension on, oh, that word that was just said, it might have been 2 sentences. You know what? That clicked to me so greatly. Wow, that might have been God telling me to do this that way. You're learning. That's how you learn. You know what I'm saying? God ain't gonna let you, he ain't gonna let you fall. He's gonna teach you. He wants to grow you. He wants to show you different things. But you have to learn these things in the spiritual aspect and learning how to talk to him in a spiritual sense. He'll show you things. God, show me. He might not show you that day, but God, show me. He gonna show you. If you really believe it in your heart, he will. He gonna have to. He gonna do it. But he has to know that you believe that he will show up for you. If you don't believe it, then faith without works is dead. You know, faith and works. He needs you to work towards what you're trying to do, your purpose in him. If you don't know your purpose, ask him. Yep. Drop downloads to you in your mind. You're like, oh, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could do that. Maybe. Maybe you should do all of them. Who knows? Talk to him about it. Ask him what you want me to do. A lot of people working these 9-to-5s, man. I'm not against the 9-to-5 because everybody ain't supposed to be entrepreneurs. I'm going to say it like that, you know. But God's people, y'all ain't supposed to be working typical 9-to-5. Not that way. Not the typical way. If you working a 9-to-5, you working a 9-to-5. But God might more or less be going to have you doing something a different way. You'll still be working in the same enterprises and such. You know, same type of way. You'll be working with people that work 9 to 5 way, but you just ain't gonna work it that way. You're gonna work it a little different. And then that's God putting his little stamp on it. You know what I'm saying? He might have you opening up a whole different business. He might have you doing all of these different things, but you have to learn from him. And you can't be, oh, well, how am I going to start this if I got to pay these bills? Like, God's going to show you. You just got to be willing. But you have to go through the breaking first. A lot of people don't want to go through the breaking. And I know a lot of people that's getting left behind because once you start going in, you know what I mean, God starts showing you different things, you'll realize about how many different people that you had in your life, been in your life or whatever, that, oh snap, that was a trial and tribulation that person's supposed to have went through so they can be on their purpose, but they gave up. And now you doing your purpose, trying to stick to the script, and now you know they kind of like a undercover enemy because they want you to mess up like they did. Like, oh, if I ain't doing it, I definitely for sure don't want them to do it. So you gotta stay away from people like that. You know what I'm saying? People like, oh, I definitely know 100% when they had went through this trial that God had made a way for them to get out of it. They chose to do the simple way, using mammon, using people, using man instead of him. So that's why they're not building with God. They're not building with God because they don't trust in God. They trust in mammon. They trust in people. Yo, I'm $20,000 in debt. Could you help me out, cuz? Could you help me out, mom? Could you help me out, dad? Could you help me out, family? God, like, I put that debt on you to see if you was going to come to me. I would have helped you out. You wouldn't have to worry about that. You wouldn't have to be like, oh, now I owe these people $20,000. Instead of, I gave it to God and God just took it away. You got to understand, man, like, sometimes things look crazy, look great. Like, yo, I'm backed up. Dang, Lord, my house, I got to pay my house off. I ain't paid my mortgage in 7 months. They gonna take my crib? And God gonna be like, nah, fam, they ain't doing nothing. I run this. And I'm gonna show you that I run this. But you got to stand firm and be in the faith that he will. If you don't stand firm, because the devil gonna test you. The devil wanna break your faith. He wants to test that. Oh, you believe in God that much? Yeah, I believe in him that much. Oh, let me see if you truly believe in him that much. I'm going to have the debt collectors calling you. I'm going to have the repo man thinking on standby that he's going to take everything that you got. You still believe in him? Yeah, of course. And then, that's with the test. You got to pass the test. And God will show you, like, all this. Don't even pick up the phone, fam. Don't worry about that. They can call whoever they want. They can call your whole family. Yo, did that collector call to be up for you? Don't worry about that. It's paid. It's paid. God's got it. And you ain't got to tell them that. Like, I don't know what they talking about, dog. And God gonna show you. He's gonna use a way that you like, yo, I was down. I was out. Like, how do you think certain people have testimonies like that? I was down and out. I ain't had nothing. But God ain't let them take nothing. Broke is a joke. God showed me how to scrounge up a couple pennies. We out here eating. People still think we striving. People don't even know I'm broke is a joke. People don't even know I'm down to the last penny. I'm over here scrapping. And then you get out of that season. And then God be like, you be like, God, I thank you for showing me something that now I know you run everything. Not just, no, you run everything. People need to know that everything got to go through you, fam. And once you got that relationship, it's like, what? I don't care what anyone tries to do. I don't care what you try to bring up against me. If it's not God approved, it ain't gonna happen. And that's when you start grabbing and graduating with God to knowing a lot of these things are operated from entities, the higher ups, the top dogs that you talking about, the people that owns all of these businesses is entities, spirit beings. People ain't gonna tell y'all that. But if you got a relationship with God, God will let you know. Like, oh, wait a minute. Repo man, he thought he was coming. Oh, you 8 months behind. I'm taking your vehicle. No, you not. Not even like I'm gonna hire my vehicle from you. No, you not. It'll be paid. It's paid off. Check that again. And he'll show you a way. Hey, I need you to do this. I need you to call them. I need you to call this. Da-da-da. And then I'm going to give you the bread. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, you thought you was going to repo me, but guess what? God paused that. Let me stack up a couple chips. Now I got the bread for you. Now, mind you, everything is calculated too. So you have to, when you're working with God, you got to do it God's way. So if you get the bread, like God miraculously gives you the money that you're supposed to take, that money to pay that. Now you don't have that repo on you. Not, yo, oh, I got that. I got this extra cash. Oh, God been holding them back, and I'm not gonna pay them that. No, that's not what you're supposed to do. Now, when you're working with him, he wants you to work and do what he says. So if you somehow got that bread, miraculously, it just showed up in your account. Someone gave you a love offering or whatever, however it comes, because it comes in different ways. You got a new job all of a sudden, and now you got, you know what I mean, you got a couple extra dollars. Take that, handle them entities, handle your debt, because that's what God's doing. But some people don't hear it the right way. Oh, he gave me this extra bread. Oh, let me go get this and that and this and that. No. You'll get this and that, but I need you to do this first, and then we'll go work on the next step to that. But, you know what I'm saying? When God got you in that isolation period and he wants you to work with him, there's going to be a lot of people that you're going to have to leave behind so you can hear him better. Because if you had these same people in your camp from before, oh, why don't you just go ask your mama? Why don't you go ask your daddy? Why don't you go ask your cousin this and that? He got mad bread. He got this, that, and the third. Like, God didn't want you to do that. God wants you to work with him. God wants to show you some new things. I'm going to show you a new way. I'm going to show you a new thing. That's why these people are going to be left behind. They got to be left behind because they got to go through their own trials and tribulations. And then while you're, like I said, while you're growing, you're going to know certain people and certain aspects of things. Like, wow. I remember my one family member, they was going through this, that, and the third. Like, and you'll be able to relate to it. Like, oh, that was a trial that person failed. Straight like that. They didn't want to go through the trial. It was too grand for them. They didn't have the wherewithal to withstand it because they didn't have a relationship with God. You know, there's a lot of people even in the church. They go through their trials too. Like, a lot of people ain't passing them tests, them trials. They ain't passing them. There's a lot of people out here, they ain't passing the trials because they don't want to go in the unknown. They don't want to go on that period of growth. You have to go through some pain first before you can get to to the top. They don't want to go through the pain aspect. Pain ain't gonna last for long, but you got to go through that drama. That, you know what I mean. That ain't gonna be there forever, but you have to go through. What if these people weren't around for you? You know what I'm saying? What if your mom and them dead, gone? It's just you left. Now who you gonna be dependent on? So those type of people it might be easier for a person that don't have nobody, because all they can do is rely on God. But a person that has supposed a support group, or think they have a support group, because you can't rely on man, I'm telling you. But these people be thinking that they have a support group. It's harder for them, because when times get real hard, and hey, I owe 10 bands, 20 bands on my credit, yo, fam, you know what I'm saying? They're going to go reach out to their family instead of reaching out towards God. And that's why people be losing. You losing because you're depending on a human being instead of depending on your Father up in heaven that runs it all. Once you know that, once you go through certain things, you'll understand how this whole thing operates. It all operates through him. The devil can't do nothing without God's approval. He can do some things. He can test you. He can't take you up out of here without God. His minions can't do nothing without God. That's why you got war angels. They go up against some straight minions. So I'm gonna leave that one right there. You know what I mean? Escape from the people that you need to escape from. It's not that you don't love them. It's not that they, you know what I mean, like, you don't want the best for them, but they ain't got the best for you. So they just left behind, man. There's more aspects to it, you know what I mean, being left behind. Like they were saying, the people was called up, you know what I mean? Even in the movie, like, you seen the people disappear because they ain't accept God, but it's deeper than that. They didn't accept God's new way in real life. If you read the book the right way, they didn't accept their purpose. I would put it like that. People aren't accepting their purpose or wanting to know what their purpose is in life here. I know I was beating all over the place with it, but it all kind of comes into a sense of, once you build with God, you know what I'm saying, like, a lot of things would be a lot easier for you. But you have to have a relationship. Like, even in the times of trials and in the tribulation period, if you can hear God, you're going to make it out of here flying colors. But you have to build. You have to understand his voice. You have to know how he's trying to operate with you. You have to know certain things. And he's going to reveal a lot of different things to you. You'll know how to operate around these demons. You'll know how to operate around these entities, these strongholds. You know what I'm saying? My people died because lack of knowledge. What knowledge is he talking about? Unknown knowledge that you ain't just going to get from no regular, smegular books. You ain't just going to get these from no books. This is spiritual knowledge. You got to get it from the spirit. You ain't going to get it from no books. The Bible only going to tell you certain things. That's why he had the Bible closed. He told John, close the book of Revelation. Do you think that that's all in the book of Revelation? That means there's more to it. People ain't getting it. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have that relationship so you can learn how to move around. There's strongholds, you know what I'm saying? We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities in high places. It's letting you know a lot of things, man. These entities, how to operate through the legalities of certain things. God teaches you that. How to get through these strongholds, these principles, these gatekeepers. He shows you the way to get past these folk. Away from me, Satan. I'm still out here. I'm in your land, and I'm doing me. You can't stop nothing, because God's with me. God gives me the smarts to learn how to operate even with y'all chaos going on, with y'all foolery. God's still showing me everything I need to know how to maneuver around y'all. And I'm always going to win, because this is chess, not checkers. So I'm going to leave that one right there. God bless.